not that John Fisher is sharing his innermost thoughts with you or me or just about anybody right now. That's the consistent thing I've always heard. I've kind of covered this as, it's macro. You've been right there on the details, which has been so very important. But people who are around Fisher keep telling me is they don't know. Like, he changes his mind. He isn't sure about things. He kind of half commits. We've certainly seen that through the trail of failed projects. But where do you think Fisher is? What's his mindset? Like, is it totally on Las Vegas right now?
Yeah, I think right now it totally is on Las Vegas. The few things I do know, well, first and foremost, let me just jump into what you said. You nailed it on the head. John Fisher is very non-committal. I think that's the main thing I've heard too, is he is sort of afraid to just like jump in and get something done. You saw it with Howard Terminal. You saw it with the site switches in Las Vegas. I think that is a main problem. Actually, you saw it even before they picked the first site. Like I was saying earlier, the people in Vegas, the lawmakers were saying, you got to choose something. You got to jump in. You got to commit. We cannot get a vote in if you don't. It's always been a commitment issue with him, first and foremost. So that's the thing that is actually really interesting to me. Is that he's just not ready to jump in and commit on much of anything. And it's so hard to say what he's thinking because nobody gets to talk to him.
If they don't know what the deal really is, let's just say the Nevada politicians, how does this go forward? Like, they try to just shove him into, like, where is the up down on this? Is Nevada up in, like, say Rob Manfred calls a vote of the MLB and they approve a relocation with all these things up in the air? Where does it stand? Could it just fall apart in Vegas financially? Where is the next step? Where are the next 2-3 steps on this?
Well, the very next step after, let's just say relocation has already been approved and waived. The relocation fee being waived is critical in this whole juncture too. And
huge.
I still don't understand why anybody would approve that. The thing is the very next thing I think that will happen is I think John Fisher is going to have to sell an ownership stake of the team. I think that's the very next thing we're going to see happen for two reasons. One, I think he's going to need to put somebody in that local market in a prominent role to kind of turn the tide on this whole thing, get somebody that's well-liked, well-known, has some power and influence in Vegas, get them an ownership stake to smooth things over. But the real reason they're going to need to do that is because they need the money to actually build the stadium. So I think that what John Fisher is trying to do, if he ever builds this stadium, is do it without using his own money. That's been his MO the whole time. He looks everywhere but his own wallet for funds. And so I think they're going to take whatever naming rights deal they're going to get for however many millions that is, whatever ownership stake they can sell, they're going to use that to actually fund the stadium, plus a massive loan that they need to find a way to pencil out.
But wait a minute, you don't say I heard he spent $100 million on the Howard Terminal effort, Casey. At least now it's probably $300 million now. It's make-believe money. I still want to see those receipts. If he put $100 million into that case, that's worse than like signing a terrible baseball player. It didn't do very well.